Yeah. They want domination, validation, retaliation, sanctification of violence through political translation. Weaponized frustration, dressed up as liberation. Every generation inheriting another generation's hatred. Then hatred becomes culture, culture becomes structure, structure becomes law, law protects the rupture, rupture becomes normal, normal becomes moral, moral becomes a slogan on a fucking recruitment poster. And we call that civilization. Civilization? Fuck that. If we're civilized, why does every century need a new vocabulary for slaughter? But don't put me outside it, I'm not clean. That's the part they never wanna hear. I got anger in me, I got envy, I got vanity, I got moments where the ugliest part of me looks almost reasonable. I wanted power too, not power over nations, power over pain, power over uncertainty, power over the things I couldn't change. And maybe that's where every tyrant starts. Just give me enough power to fix this one thing. Then one thing becomes 10, 10 becomes 1,000. 1,000 bodies later, he's still calling himself the answer. So thank God, he never gave me the throne. Thank God, I never had an army. Thank God, my anger never came with authority, because I know myself well enough to know that under the wrong pressure I could have justified the unacceptable. Maybe I call it order, maybe I call it justice, maybe I quote something sacred while turning the city into ashes. So I don't thank God for making me powerful, I thank him for keeping me dangerous, a human scale. Because power isn't the ability to destroy, anybody can destroy. Power is having the hand that can strike and deciding not to. Power is restraint, power is shelter, power is abundance, power is opening the door when you could have closed it. Power is carrying the weak without needing them to worship you for it. If your strength requires submission, your strength is already sick. If your greatness requires another man's grave, your greatness is already rotten. Your side, your side. If your victory needs a victim, keep it on your side. Your side. I don't inherit your hatred just because I share your sky. Your side. I can call my own people wrong and still look you in the eye. Your side. Maybe truth ain't where we stand, maybe truth is what survives. Now look at religion, not the possibility of God. The machinery humans build around the possibility. The institution, the interpretation, the hierarchy, the inherited certainty. The way your mystery becomes a manual becomes a weapon becomes a mission, and a mission becomes a body in the funeral. All because somebody said this is what he wants. How the fuck do you know? How did your certainty become larger than your humility? Maybe the first sacred act is admitting you don't know. Maybe faithful thought humility is just ego wearing holy clothing. Maybe the Lord is larger than every language we put around him. Maybe every tradition caught a fragment. Maybe every tradition also dropped one. Maybe the truth doesn't need a tribe. Maybe we keep asking who was chosen, when the real question is who chose violence. Violence, violence. And now the systems are shaking, death in the bloodstream, fear in the market, control getting harder when everybody's connected. Manipulation used to travel through the priest and the paper. Now everybody sees everybody, so the mask gets thinner and the narrative gets stranger. They sell a crisis, then sell the cure. Sell you the fear, then sell you security. Sell you the enemy, then sell you unity. Sell you the weapon, then call you mature. The machine doesn't need you healed, it needs you useful. It doesn't need you wise, it needs you movable. It doesn't need a conscience, it needs a population that can be divided by your sentence and mobilized by your rumor. That's why I don't trust the crowd. Crowds can be beautiful, crowds can be monsters. History taught me propaganda to panic, panic to action, action to ashes, ashes to fractions, fractions become statistics, statistics become captions, captions become memories, memories become distraction. Distraction becomes comfort, comfort becomes sleep, sleep becomes obedience, obedience runs deep, deep becomes doctrine, doctrine becomes creed, creed becomes a reason why the innocent bleed. And in the same hands are planted the seed, stand shocked when the garden grows exactly as greed. Maybe the empire isn't strong, maybe it's just loud. Maybe the weapon isn't power, maybe it's fear with a bigger budget.